はい、じゃあ続きやっていこう。前回はね、こちらの新しいストーリー、なんかね、楽しそうな雰囲気ですね。やっていきましょう。あれ？
The paper dragon traced out a beautiful arc in the air, communicating with Daniel in a unique way.
My cherished friend, after many long years, we finally meet again. Tell me, how has your family been? A great thank you for playing that music for me.
いいやつの言葉とは思えない声色なんだけど。
The beautiful rhythm of that instrument. But we ought to take precautions, as the room is not stable. Do you still remember how the room works? You're welcome to visit anytime.
どういうこと？
The piece of paper then changed back into the shape of a paper dragon and flew into the cardboard box. The box closed shut, and a calm silence was restored to the attic. Daniel rushed to find a watercolor pen and marked the box with excitement in his fingertips.
Here be dragons. ここにドラゴンってこと？
Over the next few days, the paper dragon came out often to play with Daniel. During this time, Daniel introduced many of his friends to the paper dragon.
友達に紹介し、大丈夫それ？おお、
Our cat's name is Mrs. Carter.
かわいい。
Ever since I secretly fed her some fish for dinner, we've been good friends. That's Duke, Mrs. Jessica's pet. He doesn't like rainy days or Mrs. Carter. Only smoked sausages for his taste. And now, we are friends too. My name is Daniel. What's your name?
The paper dragon flapped its wings, as if it didn't understand him.
Well, since you like the sound of the penny whistle so much, why don't I just call you Penny? I'll keep practicing to make it sound better.
Daniel and Penny then played baseball together in the attic.
Let's play cat.
大丈夫かそれ？おお、そういうことね。おお、飛んでる飛んでる。ほ。ああ、取ってきてくれるんだ。かわいい。あ、ありがとう。じゃあ飛ばすよ。ほい。あれ？早くないキャッチ。ほっ。おお。
But just as they were in the middle of enjoying themselves, a violent shaking suddenly rose from the ground.
Oh.
The stubborn earthquake is back at it, folks, and it seems even stronger than last time.
At this moment, the box suddenly shot open,
Oh.
and thick clouds of smoke billowed out, followed by several paper balls. Penny attacked the paper balls without a moment's hesitation and promptly threw them back into the box. Penny then flew around in front of Daniel and rushed right back into the box. As the box closed, the earthquake stopped. Facing a friend's farewell without a formal goodbye, Daniel felt confused and lost. He moved the box to the center of the attic. Facing it, he practiced his penny whistle day in and day out. As the days went by, Daniel's playing became smoother.
唐突すぎない？出なくなっちゃったってこと？
One day, the box suddenly began to move.
あ、また煙出てきた。 お
1, 2, 3, 4. This time there were 4 paper dragons. But they weren't alone. Enemies began to jump out of the box too.
Earthquake! Another earthquake! This time it's reached a magnitude of 5.8!
In that small attic, the 4 paper dragons fought fiercely against the paper balls. This time, the paper balls used new tactics. They clumped together into a single monstrous ball of paper. It began to shoot strong bursts of electric sparks at the paper dragons as they flew through the air.
あ
As they were hit, the paper dragons fell from the air, one after the other.
ー、これで羽やられたんだ。なるほどね。
Seeing the injured paper dragons, Daniel felt very distressed and anxious. Just then, one of the paper dragons painfully started to fly and gathered the remainder of its power. The paper dragon transformed into a great beam of light and dove straight down to pierce through the monstrous paper ball.
かっこいい。
And then came another paper dragon. The monstrous paper ball was blasted to bits, exploding into smaller paper balls. Trembling, they struggled to escape back into the box. The sacrificed paper dragons were reduced to swirling shreds of paper,
あら。
and a silence pervaded. Peace and tranquility were restored once again to the attic. Daniel saw the remaining 2 paper dragons lying on the floor, badly wounded. He rushed to grab some stickers and treated them at once.
2匹いる、2匹いる。こっちもだ。あー、赤い子が。飛んでる飛んでる。
Suddenly, countless paper dragons began to rush from the box. The 2 wounded paper dragons were repaired and began to fly. Like 2 colored threads, they merged with the other dragons, flying in unison. The dragons moved like a tide, flying freely through the attic. Daniel eagerly took out
お
his
お、また
pin
音ゲーか。
He showed all his paper dragon friends the results of his hard work and practice.
音ゲーやんけ。頑張るぞ。これあれなんだね。折り紙になってんだね。ほんと上手くなってるよ。失敗できねえなこれ。あ、同情したか来んのか、生意気に。危ねえ。全然余裕なかったから見てなかった。やっぱ折り紙になってる。飛んでるもんね、紙飛行機で。全然気にしてなかったわ。絵が綺麗だな。すごいいい絵だな。あったかいわ。おお、やった、成功できた。よかった。で
In the sweet melody of his playing, Daniel felt himself enter into the world of dragons.
リアルのウサギやな。おお、折り紙じゃねえ、リアルなドラゴンだ。まあでも確実にこれで分かったね。あの段ボールと地震は繋がってるわ。おー、綺麗だな。すげえな。壮観だな、あんだけドラゴンいると。お、
The paper dragons merged into a long letter and floated down towards Daniel to tell their story.
おー、いっぱいある。
After the last war, the fantasy world enjoyed a long spell of peace and stability. But now, the giants have returned.
巨人なんだ。
They have launched ferocious attacks, trying to invade your world through the room. We are prepared to launch the final defense. Then we will have to destroy your room, for it is the last remaining entryway into your world. Please believe this farewell will only be temporary. We will not be apart forever, and we will never forget
お
the mission of protecting you.
At that moment, the paper dragons flew back into the box. Daniel still couldn't fully understand what the paper dragons had meant, but he had a vague feeling in his heart that he may never see his new friends again.
いや、悲しいな、これ。
A few days later, Daniel's chickenpox had fully recovered. He could now play the whistle very, very well.
感染するってそういうことか。あれ、そんなこと書いてあっ
The
た？
paper dragons never returned.
うわ、悲しい。この部屋とはおさらばってことね。あ、笛は最後に入れよう。一緒に遊んだボールね。投げて遊んだね。一生懸命練習した笛だよ、これ。あ、閉じるところもやりたかったな。
Maybe it was time to leave and move on.
Earthquake warning! Magnitude 6.2! A massive earthquake is hitting our town! All townspeople, please leave your houses immediately and move to safe open spaces!
お！
Just then, countless paper dragons shot from the cardboard box. However, it seemed like they were under attack, spinning and falling through the air in confusion.
ドラゴン倒すってどんだけだよ、こいつ
What's
ら。
happening?
Daniel quickly grabbed the stickers out from his bag and did his best to heal the injured paper dragons.
うわ、めっちゃいい子。おお、ほんとだ。どうやってやってあげればいいのこれ。どうすればいいの？あ、この子。次はどれだ、この子ね。うわ、ほんとだ、めっちゃドラゴンやられてる。次は次どこ？あ、いた、君ね。早く。やばい、消えていく。命が消えていく。どれ？次はどの子？あ、いた、あの子ね。ちょっと待ってね。頑張って。ほら。おお、どうなった？おお、やばっ。ああ。
But the paper balls swarmed together and pushed Daniel away, subduing him firmly in the corner. He couldn't move. Suddenly, ominous clouds rose from the box, and a violent lightning flashed through the room. The figure of a giant slowly emerged from thick clouds, and the entire attic became overwhelmed with its evil aura.
The earthquake is growing stronger! Now with a magnitude of 7.1! Heaven almighty! Are we doomed?
The giant unleashed its power maniacally. The paper dragon struggled against it, with no means of fighting back.
展開がいいね。
At this critical moment, two paper dragons shine
おお、かっこいい。
together. They heroically crashed their bodies into the giant. Daniel thought the giant had been defeated by the paper dragons, but soon he found that things would probably not be so simple. The giant's figure could still be seen in the thick smoke, looking evil and terrible. The attacks of the paper dragons had had no effect, and the giant had only grown stronger. It fought back with a new ferocity. The paper dragons were simply no match for it.
The earthquake is growing stronger still! The greatest disaster this town has seen in over 100 years! My heavens! Will this nightmare ever end?
え、どうすんのどうすんの。あ
With
Oh!
the paper dragons now all but defeated, Daniel spotted a frail figure in the distance. It was Penny. It flew gently in front of Daniel and affectionately rubbed its head against his fingers, as if this whole crisis had never happened. Daniel felt like Penny was trying to tell him something, but he didn't quite understand what.
進めたくねえこれ。
Penny then left Daniel and soared into the air with a determination in its wings. Suddenly, the other paper dragons seemed to be summoned. They flew through the air, all together in unison, responding to the call without an ounce of hesitation. At that moment, Penny turned into a great red
う
beam
わー、綺麗だな。
fast towards the giant. The other dragons followed, shining together like a shooting star. At that moment, Daniel seemed to see a real dragon flying.
No!
The huge explosion from the impact drowned out everything else in the attic. The attic rained down with countless pieces of paper, the leftover scraps of the paper dragons. Daniel wanted to collect all of the pieces. He thought he could still fix them.
これ紙拾うんだろこれ。悲しいんだが。やべ、涙出てきた。ちょっと待って。この待ってんの全部そうでしょこれ。なんだよこの。うわ、悲しいんだが。やめてくれ。何事もなかったかのようになってる部屋が。あとはなるほど。ここで直すのね。ちょっと待って。多分、こうかな。で、こうだね。
Goodbye, friend.
文字出てくるのずるいよ。
The nightmare is over. The earthquake has stopped. With God's mercy, our town is safe. We thank you, Lord, for your protection.
A few days later, the art festival was held as scheduled. Daniel attended the show with his penny whistle.
おい、まさか。
And now, Daniel Trevor will perform a penny whistle solo of a song titled Fly With Me.
Oh, おい、マジかよ。ここで音がやらせんのかよ。いきます。いや、ドラゴンのためにも完璧で演奏してあげたい。 やべ、間違えて触れちゃった。ちょっと待って、なんで今押したやんけ。ごめん、ドラゴン、俺はダメだったよ。俺はやれなかったよ。こっから、なんでだよ。難しい。ここで思い出流すなよ。見たいだろ、それ。やめろ。気になるだろ。ずるい。ただでさえミスってんだからもう。お！
And that's how the story ends. Now, you might be wondering, what happened next? Are there still paper dragons in the world? Well, that's a difficult question to answer. But I believe that they are still protecting us somewhere in this world, just like they promised they would.
あの絵本がじゃないんだ。
To eternity.
あの箱が本当にあったやつなんだ。へえ。なんて話だ。ちょっと待って、涙が。はあ、なるほど。どうしよう。区切ろうかな。はい。というわけでね、私と SCP-1762 ダニエル・トレバー。はい。いい話だったな。なるほどね。本当にあった話なんだ。で、その子供は実体験なんだね、あれが。はあ、よく作られた話だわ。面白かった。はい、というわけで、ここまでご視聴ありがとうございました。よろしければまた次回も見てください。バイバイ。